Every job I've ever had has been focused on digitization. One of the things that I do is work on the World Economic Forum. And in the World Economic Forum, there's an initiative called Shaping the Future of Production. And the idea is to take a very inclusive approach, a holistic approach, and look at the impacts that we can have in a positive way for how things play out with this new generation of technologies. Having a tangible, three-dimensional model is really critical for planning very complex surgeries. And this one is an example of a child with a complex heart defect. So we work with the Mayo Clinic, and they've shared with us some of the examples of this. And there was one that really struck with me. And that was that there was somebody who had a tumor on the right side, and that tumor was in a very awkward location. And generally what that would have meant is that they would have had to do the surgery from behind. It would have been a very invasive surgery, and it would have been something that took a long time to recover from, and it probably would have left a lot of collateral damage. And what they were able to do is take this model, work with the team, and find a very unique approach to getting to that tumor. And by virtue of that, they were able to do it through a keyhole incision through the front. And I mean, the implications of that in terms of just scarring, in terms of time to recovery, in terms of the medical process, how long that surgery took, huge impacts. And they have story after story after story like this. So you can see a lot of these kind of medical things and how they accrue benefits to society. But for 3D printing, it goes farther than that. There's huge benefits that are possible for the environment. And the way you can think about this is that when you're 3D printing something, you build up layer by layer, and you only use the material that you need to make that part. There might be a little other stuff for a support. But traditional processes are more that you're milling and molding and cutting things down. If you think about the ability to 3D print in remote locations, only where you need it, then the other thing that you can look at is the reduction in logistics. If you look at lightweighting and taking mass out of materials, again, lots of opportunity to take out cost and ultimately reduce the carbon impact. There's a profound difference in how you design for the way things have always been done versus how it will be done for this technology. I do believe that it can be a leapfrog technology for moving into new market sectors that really haven't been served. It can also provide benefits like, building a population of people that are really strong in design and be able to support people that need it around the world. For me, the call to action, we've learned inside of HP something that I think applies broadly, and that is that what really worked in terms of driving adoption of a new technology is a top-down mandate, supported by support from below for people who need to understand the details, how to use the technology, where to use the technology, how is it applied. And I think it's going to take a lot more than just digital factories. It's really going to take private sector working with the public sector to drive and sustain change of this magnitude.